Alright, I have an assortment of brads, but I really don't want any of these colors to go in that center hole. So I'm going to take a silver brad. I'm going to take one silver brad and this Versamark stamp pad. I'm going to need that. And I'm going to need my tweezers. And let's see, I'm trying to decide which color do I like best. I think I'm going to go with the turquoise embossing powder because I like that color. Alright, so now we're not going to use the embossing buddy on this guy. We're just, the lid comes off and you take your brad in your fingers. If I use the tweezers and I pound down on the thing, that works, but you're going to need to use the tweezers. See, it moved and I need it to be straight up and down, so that's why I'm going to use my fingers so I can hold it and I can get a good do. Alright, now I'm going to use my tweezers. Oh, I better put the tweezers the other way. Okay, get this out of the way. And this stays wet. This Versamark stuff stays wet for a while, and that's good. Okay, now I'm going to take the turquoise, and I don't need to use the Powder Pal with this. I'm just going to poke it in there and tap it off. Okay, now you see, I've got the, you can't really see it. And with the heat tool, I am going to heat this up. Until I'm satisfied. Alright. It's not thick enough. The color's not right yet. So while it's still hot, I'm going to put it back in and get some more stuff on. And I'm going to do this a few times until I get it the color that I want, and it's coating it the way that I want. Poke it in there, and I'm going to blow on it. I'm not blowing on it, but the heat tool is. And I'm going to put it in there some more. Okay, I think I need to move back some, because I think what I'm doing is I'm heating it up and blowing it all down the sides. Okay, it's getting better. Alright, it's more the color that I want. Okay. It's more of the turquoise that I want. Alright. Now I'm going to leave this alone. I got to let it cool off before I do anything. So I'm just going to set that down. Let it cool. Okay. And then with this mouse pad, this is a paper piercer, and this is extremely sharp. This is very, very sharp. This will hurt you. Just be careful with it. Alright. Now, this thing here, this little dot right here, that's where I'm going to put this brad. So I'm going to poke this in straight down till it goes through the paper. You see that? Now I'm going to push it all the way through to the edge, to the very end. Now that opens it and makes the hole bigger for the brad to go in. Now I got to feel the brad and see if it's still hot. Okay, it's cooled off. Okay. And see, that silver brad I've made turquoise. Isn't that pretty? Now I'm going to put this right in the middle here. That looks pretty good. Okay, now open your brad legs like that. Oops, you didn't see that. Okay, spread the brad legs apart like that. Okay, I got a hammer. And I'm going to use this rubber side, and I'm going to bang it on there. And what I'm trying to do is get these legs closer to the paper. Now I'm not going to whack the fool out of it. I'm just going to give it a couple of good mashes. And see, that flattens the legs out. And it also presses this close to the paper. Alright, now I am not going to freehand cut this. The scissors look like I've got them straight, and then I cut it, and everything's wonky. So I have to use a paper trimmer. And I have a little one. Okay, this is my little paper trimmer. It's 8.5 inches this way, and it's 5 inches this way. But this is what I use for these small things. Okay, and it's a guillotine trimmer. Push this all the way up. I know that this edge is straight because I have cut it with a trimmer before. Okay, now I'm going to come pretty close. Now, this plastic thing right here, you mash down and that holds the thing in. And what I want to do is I want to leave a little bit of a good gap, about 1/8 of an inch. And on this side of this plastic thing is where the blade will be cutting. That's probably a little bit more than what I wanted, but okay. Alright, you see that black mark right there? Alright, that's on the outside of this piece right here. Alright, now I have to do the same with the opposite side. So I'm going to feed this through. Now I put this in, and then I'm just going to make this black mark just on the outside of this, whatever that is. Hold it down, and then make my cut. Okay, and then I'm going to turn this around, and then I'm going to, alright, this one is in pretty much the right place already, but the other side isn't. So I gotta make that one about the same distance as I have all the others, so that it's even. I'm going to cut that off. Okay. So there's my little piece. There's that little piece. Okay. Alright, I'm all for using scraps. And I guess maybe that's why I have so much paper. I buy paper and then I just use the scraps. Alright, what I want to do is I want to get the same amount of reveal around this whole thing. And I can do this two ways. Eyeball it. Sometimes my eyeball is off. So I'm going to do it this way with this is a quilting ruler. And I'll tell you what, I love this thing. Okay, and then see, this is why I like this, because I can put my piece under there and I can see where it is. So it's not quite 2 inches. It's not quite 2 inches wide. Oh, let's give it a 1/4 inch reveal, which will end up being, I'll have to make it a 1/2 inch bigger on 2 sides, only on 2 sides. Alright, I'm going to make this scrap, I'm going to cut it to 2 1/4 by 2 1/4.